Hi, I'm Christy and I'm Daisy K's Primitives, and welcome to my very first FlossTube. I've been watching FlossTube now probably for a year and a half. I just want to say thank you to everyone that takes the time and the effort to do these videos, just trying to prepare for this one and get things together and organized. It's a little bit of work, and when you're done, you still have more work to do after to put everything away. But thank you so much to everyone that opens up their home or their shops and themselves actually to do these videos for us that enjoy and share the love of the craft and the hobby of cross stitch. So thank you to everyone, and thank you today for watching with me. To introduce myself, my name again is Christy. I live near Kansas City, Missouri, and have all of my life. I am married, and I have two daughters that are grown on their own and married. We have two grandsons that are growing like weeds and are sweet as can be, but all boy and ornery and keep us entertained. I think I started cross-stitching when, let's see, 1982, 1983. My mother-in-law had some sort of a home party where, a crafting party where you could purchase different craft projects. And out of obligation, I went and I purchased a little Santa ornament cross-stitch piece. And I taught myself how to stitch, and I did it, and I enjoyed it. And I was thinking the other day, it's a Santa piece. Of course, it's packed away with all my Christmas things. And here in a few months, maybe I'll share that little ditty with you. It's interesting. I stayed home with our daughters and raised them and home educated them. So I didn't have a whole lot of time for stitching. I was more about the process, not so much about finishing projects. And I have some from back in the day, and as I come across those and find them, I'll share them later in a later video. So how my stitching evolved to where I am today. So 82, 83 got started over the years, dabbled a little bit with it, but then in 2009 I got on Facebook and found all the primitive decorating groups, and country style, primitive style has always been my style of decorating. And so I really enjoyed the groups. I learned so much about antiques and primitives, and that had always been my style, of course. So it really encouraged me and inspired me to continue on with the more primitive decorating. So, of course, I was on a budget. Who isn't always on some sort of a budget? So I would try to decorate my home with things that I could make myself, or my husband would help me make, that I could add to the decor. And I was seeing these little stitcheries, and you know, I knew how to do that. I knew how to cross stitch. So I started doing a little investigating, and I found some really cute primitive cross stitch designers, and then found Etsy, and a whole new world opened up to me. So I began, like a crazy woman, downloading PDFs, which was another awesome, amazing world. And, you know, that you could get a design, a pattern right then and there within a few minutes of paying for it. You didn't have to go out your door. So I started stitching these little pieces and adding them to my decor, and of course sharing photos in the decorating groups and even on my personal Facebook page. And friends would say, you know, how cute it was, or that they really liked it, and then a few would ask me if I would make them some too, just to buy. So I did. I started doing that a little bit, and then that's how my little handmade primitives business got started. And later on I did open an Etsy shop. So I do I work from home helping my husband with his little bit of paperwork with business, and then I have my own handmaids business also. About my stitching, I like to stitch in hand. I never really have liked to hoop. I always felt like I was fighting it, like Niecy Lynn has talked about, which is a floss tuber that I enjoy and I watch often. I started out with, on my little primitive projects, pillow tucks and pin keeps on 32 count linen, and I loved how that looked with one strand over two. I prefer the primitive style, and to me, I like the look of the sparse threads that you can see the linen through your stitching. And oftentimes the primitive designers would include in their instructions how to stain or coffee dye your pieces. And I've tried that. I love it. It's amazing how staining a piece that you've finished can just transform, and you never know what you're going to get. And little tips and tricks that I've learned along the way that adds so much personality to your pieces, and to me just speaks colonial primitive style. Also, on my finishing with primitive, to me it's nice because to me primitive is not perfect. It's old, it's worn out, it's antique, it's make do, it's use what you have. That's the look that I go for. And so with my finishing, say on a little pillow tuck, I like to just hem stitch the bottom edge of the seam after I've stuffed it. And I stuff my pillows lightly, so a lot of people may not like that, and that's not their preference, but that's just what I like, and that's what I do. I do enjoy and dabble with some other crafts. I grew up crocheting, learned how to crochet when I was a little girl. My great aunt was handicapped, and she had this big rocking chair that I would sit on, the wide arms, kind of a mission style rocker, and she would crochet all day long every day and made amazing things, so many pieces that our family has still to this day. And just watching her and listening to her, she taught me how to crochet when I was just a little girl. So I've continued that. I like to knit a little bit. I do punch needle and rug hooking. I have a few pieces that I will share as I dig them out. I like wool applique. I've done a little bit of quilting, piecing quilts. I like to dabble with photography. I don't know what I'm doing, but I sure do like pretty pictures. So I like that. And did I say folk art painting? I do a little bit of that. And all stuff that I've just taught myself. What I like, I just try to replicate. I want to share with you some of my sampler whips and some new samplers that I want to start for Sampler September. So let me share with you what I have. My thinking at this point is my plans for September are kind of splitting up, working on the existing whips that I have, introducing some new starts, but then I have one big one that I started probably a year ago, maybe, that I want to get back to and focus on. And my plans for it are on the weekends, I'm going to focus on this one, and it is Sarah Casey Unwin by Chessie and Me. It's so pretty, and it would be the largest project that I had taken on to date. And I just love it. I love it so much. I love that big red house. I'm stitching this on 36 count Legacy, I believe. I think. This is what I have done so far. She's a big girl, but she's so pretty. But anyway, I want to focus on her on the weekends, all weekend long, in the month of September. I've got some things that I want to change on her. The white that's in this flower, I don't care for. I did replace it down here in this flower urn with B5200, and it just stands out so much better. There you can kind of see the white above the wording. So I'm going to replace the white in those upper flowers and just continue on. And I don't know, that house is so big and there's so much stitching in it that I'm not sure that I can get it done, but she's going to be my weekend focus in September. So that's my big girl that I'm working on. This is another one. I'm not sure if everyone would consider this a sampler. I kind of do, but it's called Gratitude by Lottie Da. And this is what it looks like. Just some wording. It says, let gratitude and acts of goodness flow, our love to God and love to man below. Be this our joy, to calm the troubled breast, support the weak and secure the distressed, direct the wanderer, dry the widow's tears, the orphan guard, the sinking spirit cheer. And I just love that. And I have a specific place that I think that I want this to go. When I saw it, I wanted something long and narrow. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's just perfect. Now, what am I stitching this on? Straw, I believe. Where did it go? Anyway, this would be 36 count straw. And this is my start. And I apologize, I did not iron these before I got started. But anyway, I love that little border. I love the coloring. And I love the wording. And like I said, I have a specific place that I think I want to hang this in my dining room. So that's one that I want to focus on in September. And my thinking is I will spend about 2 days a piece on all these projects. Another that I got started on, and I believe this was a mania start this year, is from the Blackbird book, Ooh La La. And I am doing this one, and I am not even going to try to pronounce the name of this pattern, but it is this one. That's the title. This I'm working on 36 count Winter's Brew, and that's my progress so far. I'm loving it, and I am in compliance with the law of having a red sampler in the works. I'm stitching, excuse me just a minute. I'm using Weeks Dye Works Cayenne for that one. So that's another one that will get a 2-day focus and attention. Another one that I will be working on is the Janet Irving sampler by Farish Sampler Treasuries, Jean Farish. And if you guys haven't seen yet, Jean Farish has started a FlossTube, and it's awesome. Go watch. I can't remember what the title of her floss tubes are. If I can figure out how to put something in the Dropbox down below, I will add a link. But anyway, this is Jean Farish, the Janet Irving sampler. Another big girl, another red house. I love those trees. It's got some kind of, I'm not exactly sure about the red that it calls for. I'm using all the called for DMCs. I'm stitching this one on 36 count Vintage Country Luna. And again, I apologize for not ironing, pressing my pieces. But this is how much I have so far. This red on the border and in the flowers is kind of bright. It's picking up fairly well here. It is DMC 347. And that's pretty much it right there, what you see, that color. And it's a little bit pinkish, a little bit bright. This may be one, after I get done with it, stitching it, I may dip it, coffee stain it, and see. It'll tone it down a little bit, and I think I may like it better. But she's a pretty one, and she's a big one. Another one that I just recently started, and I shared some photos on Instagram, is Little Birds by Blackbird Designs. And it is just beautiful. I haven't seen many stitching this one, but it's just, the colors are just gorgeous. And it's a big one. I'm stitching it on 36 count Heartland, and stitch count for it is 395 by 339. So another big project, but I'm really enjoying this one. Here is my start so far. I love this linen. Look at the modeling on that corner. But anyway, here's my progress. Look at those beautiful flowers on the border. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm so looking forward to this piece. But that's my start. I think I started this a month ago or so. That's another one that's going to get some work for 2 days, at least. Another one from Scattered Seed Samplers is Mary Wood, an antique reproduction sampler. I love this one because it's kind of, well, it's red. What can we say? And I'm not stitched an Adam and Eve sampler yet, but look at them. Aren't they cute? And those birds. I love that border. It's so much fun to stitch. I'm stitching this one on 36 count corn silk. And this is what I've gotten accomplished so far. Little bird is so cute, and that's the wording in this is 1/1, and all I got stitched so far is the word Satan. It's probably looking backwards to you, I don't know, but that's what that says, Satan. That's the only word I have stitched so far. I think I need to get busy and get some more words in there. Don't really want that on my sampler all by itself. So that will get 2 days attention. Another one is from Primitive Things, Linda Gillen, or I believe that's how you pronounce her name. This is Miriam Dowd. And this is another specific piece. It's a long piece, very primitive style. It's hard to see in this photo what it really looks like. But it has an alphabet, and there's a house and a tree at the bottom. But I have a specific place that I want this to go to fit. And I liked it because it was long and narrow. What is the stitch count on this one? It is 85 wide by 467. And I'm using, it calls for all DMC floss. And most of these that I'm sharing, I'm pretty sure you can still purchase them or find them. You may have to do a little bit of digging on eBay or looking around. But this is my progress so far. And I'm doing this on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. And I love the darker muted colors, and the modeling on this piece of linen is just perfect. Okay, next up, I started Modern Folk Embroidery, Letters from the North Part 2. This is what this one looks like. And I got this as a PDF download off of Etsy. And he has so many pretty things. I believe I'm going to modify this one some to fit my linen. And I'm kind of close on my linen, but I'll show you here in a second. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch down to the lowercase alphabet, and then I'm going to skip this motif and name area, and then I'm just going to bring this lower border right up to the bottom of the alphabet, and I believe that's going to be just perfect fit on my linen. This one I'm stitching on 36 count ale. I believe that's what this is. And I'm using DMC variegated floss 115. And also DMC 355. And I kind of cut out the brighter pieces of there's some sections of that, mine anyway, that I have that are really brighty pink, and I'm not sure if I like that. I think it's working, but so far this is what I have. And I'm sorry again, I did not iron this. I should have done that. I apologize. So that's what I've got done. So here's where I was talking about. Started the lowercase alphabet, that I think I'm going to stop right there, and then I will continue, or I will do this border repeat here underneath it. But I really like this. I think it's so pretty on this ale. It's just stunning, vivid. Those were all my sampler whips that I'm going to continue on in September. And now I want to show you a few that I want to start. And I do have them kitted up, pretty much all of them for the most part. And as I work on these and I start stitching these, I will do more videos and I will show you my progress. And I'll talk more about these patterns individually, more specifics then as I start them. This one's called, it's a reproduction Eliza Guy sampler. And I think I got this pattern off of eBay also. Once again, another house. I love the colors and the alphabets. All right, another oldie but goodie. And this is another big girl. This one is reproduction sampler Lucy Red. And I think Tracy Riffle Hands to Work is doing this one, or did it. But I love the colors. And that big urn of flowers. So pretty. And all the wording. I don't mind the alphabets too much. Fanny Osborne sampler. Another one with a house and an alphabet. Flowers. My colors. Sorry for the glare. I'm trying to get that where you can see it better. There we go. Here we go. This one's called Susanna Hardiman. And it is beautiful. Lots of stitching there. But once again, all my colors. I can't see what you're seeing, but it's pretty. Susanna Hardiman. That house is kind of different. I've not seen many designs like that. Hope you can see that. She's another big one too. Find the pattern. $257 by $217. Not bad. And last one, I've had this book for quite some time now, and y'all have seen it. I haven't seen many stitching it though. Maria Selby Humphrey, 1831, Blackbird. This big one. Once again, all those darker, muted colors. Those are my plans, which are subject to change, of course, depending on what new squirrel runs across my path between now and then. And I just want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Sorry for all the ums and the buts and the I don't know what I'm doing and all that. But I just want to share in the enjoyment and the excitement and the encouragement that everyone offers with FlossTube. Thank you for letting me share with you, and I will hopefully be back in a few weeks, probably the first week of September, to show you my progress on my samplers for Sampler September. So I hope everyone has everything lined up, has all of your supplies ready to go, and excited, and I can't wait to see what you do. So thank you again, and take care, and I'll see you soon.